know what that was? That was a smooth operator. Smooth operation.
Well, here we go. Welcome. I have managed to do the most ridiculous thing seen in the world and put two coats to zip up together, McLaren and Red Bull, for the fight. But that does come with a problem. I can't undo it. The buckles are different, and now I can't undo the jacket. So I absolutely have done a funny thing. The funniest thing is I cannot undo it. But welcome to, well, it's the final race of the season, Abu Dhabi. The title decider for Verstappen, Norris and Piastri. And I tell you, what we're going to do is whoever wins, we're going to quickly swap the coat out. It's not looking good. Literally, I cannot undo it. I might have just wrecked two coats just for your entertainment. So I hope you are absolutely happy with what we've got. Now, I'm going to try and experiment a little bit today. I don't know how good this is going to be. But obviously, if this all doesn't work around me, then we're going to literally just talk and chat amongst the race. Now, how did we do it? No, it is literally just two coats put together. The back of it is over here, look. I have just put two separate coats, buckled it up. But the problem is, I can't undo. I've got a little bit of a problem. So I'm going to have to work that one out later on off stream. Yeah, different buckles, which is going to be... Because it's funny, AKS. It's just funny, isn't it? You know, bit of randomness. So, yeah. Well, let's go, Eddie. Welcome. Yes, I'm going to hopefully bring some bits and bobs with you. I'm going to see if this works. Chat, tell me if this does work or not. Can't hear anything.
Sometimes sunset. Sun's quite bright.
It'll be just after 5:30.
Okay, that might... It worked in the end. I think that might be okay. So, come on, chat. Get your predictions in right now. Who is going to win this race? Who is going to win the Abu Dhabi race? That is the big question. Obviously, we've only got around 12 minutes to go. And then it is lights out and away we go. Max is going to win, but Lando champion. Lando DNF by George. We've got Space Mountain going for Max. We got Edatea going for Max to win the race, but Norris will be the champion still. Calum going for Norris to win both. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to have a sore neck because I'm going to be looking up, watching the race, but of course, chatting to you lot as well. And who wants some famous As a W commentary as well, instead of the normal commentary you get on the TV? Surely that is a win-win for some of you out there. Surely that's what we want to be seeing. Welcome, Matteo. Welcome in. The altar count. Yeah, we'll try. Maybe we'll use this as an audition for some F1 future commentaries if we do it next season. But what a race we have in store. I think from what I've heard, they are predicting that it is going to be a one-stop race. But it's not a guarantee of going to be a one-stop. So we'll have to wait and see. Welcome, Nadil. Welcome, Ben, as well. Norris third and champion Piastri fourth. And lets Norris pass near the end. Wow. So, from what I've heard, from watching a bit of the build-up, they do believe that, obviously, if Max Verstappen leads lap 1, he is not going to absolutely fly away. I think it was George Russell who might have mentioned that. He kind of said that, in the end, it will be a case of Max will probably have to make something happen in this race, and we'll probably see the pack really bulked up, because, obviously, what you'll have is the McLarens might want to pit. And obviously, they might hold everybody in traffic. It could be a very, very interesting race. When does Verstappen bolt? If Verstappen is the fastest car, that's what we've got to be really, really looking out for. And when we watched qualifying yesterday, chat, how close was that qualifying between the drivers. I mean, I think in Q2 there was only 5 tenths from 1st to 15th. So that means in this race we are going to be finding that it's not going to be a walk in the park for the big teams. Everyone's going to have good pace, I think. So, yeah. Do we get a Yuki Tsunoda absolute dive bomb into turn 1? He starts 10th place today. Obviously, quite a few positions back from Norris, Piastri and Max. 2 seconds. Give me 2 minutes. Right, are we ready, chat? 9 minutes to race start. Are we ready for the race? Afternoon, Chris. Feeling a Piastri today. Okay, interesting. Piastri win for Chris. We've got Anson. Are you streaming Contender? I'm not sure. We're obviously streaming now. So I don't know what's going to be in play for the F1 Clash Racing. But you never know. This will finish by about 3 o'clock. We might have time. We might have time to do it. Champion will be decided in turn 1. Any Aussies in the house? I'm pretty sure we got everybody supporting so many different teams today. But what a championship battle we are going to have. I can't wait. I just want this to absolutely get started now. We have got 8 minutes. 8 minutes is all that we have to wait for. Aussies at midnight. I know it's not the greatest race time for the Aussies, that's for sure. I mean, it's brilliant for us Brits. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, only one race. The last race with DRS. Obviously, we'll have a sort of similar boost package, I guess, in 2026 with the battery system. But the last time we're going to see that rear wing open. That is going to make for some fun. Some different 2026 racing. How close will they be next year? We'll find out. Vintrix Music, welcome. If you are watching, make sure to say hello. Make sure to say hello in this. We've got the championship battle. Now, I don't know how accurate this is going to be. I have got a delay on it, obviously, so I can match the TV that I'm watching. I don't know if it's absolutely accurate to the race time, but let's see. We'll have to probably adjust if not. Daryl, welcome. Welcome to the season finale. I hope you are good. So, here we are. What are we going to do for the next 3 or 4 months? Well, it's not really that long, is it? 3 months, I think it is, till the new season. But this is going to be an I reckon this is going to be an enjoyable race. 3 months of depression. Yeah, it could be. But, yeah, it's going to be... It always comes around pretty quick, though, don't you think? Always comes around pretty quick. And AKS is going for Max Verstappen. I mean, there's going to be so many different supporters today of who you want to win. Maybe there'll be supporters out there who want George Russell to win, who starts in 4th, Leclerc to win, who starts in 5th. Where does Hamilton get to today? Starting down in 16th place with Stroll ahead of him. Out-qualified Stroll, you know you've got a problem. Absolutely. You know you've got a problem. So, here we go. It is time. 5 minutes to go. Whew. Hamilton P9 at best. Interesting. I'm going to hit the refreshes on the everything that I've got so I can sync it up. And then we'll see what we've got. But yeah, Hamilton, can he get points on to finish a difficult year? As is hate on Stroll. I don't mind. Good luck, Matteo. I don't mind Tsunoda. Stroll. I think many people have their issues with Stroll, don't they? At the end of the day. But so what do we got on the grid then? So starting in 20th, we have got Colapinto. We've got the two Alpines then at the back, Colapinto and Gasly. We've got Hulkenberg in 18th for Kick Sauber. Remember, Kick Sauber's last race until next year when they go under the Audi representation. So Kick Sauber we say goodbye to today as well. Albon in 17th. We've got Hamilton in 16th. Stroll 15th with the Mercedes out of order really. Antonelli having a difficult qualifying session in 14th. Double McLaren DNF. Ooh, who knows? What else have we got? Antonelli, yeah. So Antonelli 14th. We've got Lawson in 13th. Sainz, Behrman, and Tsunoda then. So Tsunoda starts P10. Hajar, Ocon with a really good qualifying session for the Haas in P8. Bortoletto with an amazing qualifying start just behind his manager. So Bortoletto, if you didn't know, his manager is the one and only Fernando Alonso. So that'll be an interesting battle off lap 1. We have got Leclerc 5th, Russell 4th, and Piastri, Norris, and Verstappen. Trolley's only there because Daddy owns it. So, I mean, we've only got the Russell commentary, I think, so far that works. Let me play it again.
What time's sunset? Sun's about bright.
It'll be just after 5:30.
Yeah, so the Bortoletto one that I've got doesn't work currently. Lando P8, George supporting Max. I think that is right. I think you are right in this. That is absolutely the case. But I can't wait for this. This is going to be a belter. And I should be able to sort the delay out when they start the formation lap. But, what have we got to look out for? Russell has got no responsibilities. He starts alongside Piastri, right behind Norris. Watch out for Russell off the start. Now, apparently, according to my graphic, which I think is wrong, that Piastri starts on the hards, but I don't think that is the case. But we'll wait and see when the tyre blankets come off. But we are about to get the formation lap started. We've got about 2 minutes until the formation lap. If you're watching, make sure to get your final predictions in for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Final race, we have Verstappen, Norris, or Piastri that will take the championship today. And who goes with what? I'll wait to see the tyres. Max in his 2021 form. Absolutely, Max has been unreal this past half season. The final half of this season, he has been fantastic. I don't think anyone would be surprised if Max came away with a championship. But it all depends on what Lando Norris does. That is the big dependent today. So, tyre blankets come off. Norris starts on the mediums. Norris on the mediums. I think Max Verstappen is on the mediums as well. I think Piastri does start on the hards. From what I can see, I do think Piastri has gone for the hard tyres. So a bit of a strategy. That's a big call because you'd think that the hards might be slower to warm up. That could be a difficult start. We'll see when the tyre blankets properly come off. And they do now come off. We've got Russell on mediums. Leclerc on mediums. Oscar Piastri is on the hards. That is huge. So McLaren have changed. Have done. This is interesting. That's a big call to put Piastri on hard tyres. A very big call. If he can get the warm-up, that is massive. if he can get the warm-up. So here we go. We have Verstappen leads them away for the formation lap. Verstappen leads them away with Norris second, Piastri third. It is formation lap time here in Abu Dhabi. And let's see. Let's see if this delay... Okay, now that it does work, maybe the delay is a little bit too long, but it's not going to be the most fluent track map in the world. But should give us plenty to look at. I think it might be about 15 seconds a delay compared to what it was before. Any more guesses in the chat? Any more guesses about who is going to take the victory or the championship? But we'll see. I think the gap's even less than 15 potentially. Right, come on. Here we go. So, just coming through the sector 3. The tracking's kind... Yeah, I can't do a lot on the tracking. I've got it stretched the map a little bit so that you can see it more, but it is just on the whole thing as well. So we'll see if it does play out a little bit better. First Max, second Oscar, George, third AKS goes for. Right, here we go. We'll see if the track map eventually works properly and gives live, but if not, I'm assuming you're all watching it at home as well, right? You've all got it on the television too. Fabiano Santos goes Lando champion. Verstappen wins the race. And Space Mountain's cat loves Lando. So, we come to the start-finish straight. Verstappen rounds the final corner and he starts to look at his grid position. A few burnouts will be taken for Max Verstappen before he lines up in that pole position. So, Max Verstappen to the right-hand side of the grid. The outside line, remember, of turn 1. The outside line of turn 1. So Verstappen lines up. Norris, Verstappen pointing left. Verstappen pointing left off the start. Mediums for both Verstappen and Norris. And remember Piastri, who is pointing a little bit more right. So Piastri looking like he is potentially going to go to the outside line as we start this race. As everyone else starting to form up on the grid. The adrenaline is getting ready. So, we are ready for racing here in Abu Dhabi. The last car, the Alpine. Welcome, Siddiq. Welcome just in time. Welcome if you're joining us, because here comes the final Alpine, who is about to take their position. And they pull up to the grid. And here we go. Green flag. 1 light, 2 light, 3, 4, 5. Lights out. Didn't hold at all. Verstappen cuts straight to the left. Cuts Norris off. Piastri to the outside. Now into turn 1. All 3 cars have made it through safely. Verstappen leads from Norris in second. Piastri third. It's Leclerc into fourth with Alonso. So Russell has dropped back 2 positions off the start as Verstappen leads us down to the hairpin. As they round that corner then, Leclerc looks at Piastri, who gets a good exit, and Max Verstappen has got... But here comes Piastri on Norris with the hard tyres. Piastri's got a lovely slipstream, so has Alonso, who looks at Leclerc, and Alonso is flying in this race. Here comes Piastri to the outside, but Norris holds position. Alonso runs a little bit wide, but Fernando Alonso battling hard with Leclerc, but Leclerc holds on. So Fernando Alonso all over the back of Charles Leclerc. Here comes Piastri on Norris. Piastri round the outside. Piastri is up to second. Piastri takes Norris. Wow, them hard tyres have absolutely started strongly. What a move by Oscar Piastri. He moves up to P2. Norris now down to P3. Wow. Wow. What a start from Oscar Piastri on lap 1. as we complete that lap. Piastri up to second. So Verstappen leads, Piastri second, Norris third. We've got Leclerc in fourth, but Alonso all over the back of Russell. Bit of a debris on the track. Looks like some plastic just been shattered down the home straight as well. Now, let me know what you think of that lap one, ladies and gentlemen, if you are currently watching. Verstappen leads from Piastri and Norris. Leclerc's closing in on Norris, and the current championship standings, Norris leads the championship by 2 points versus Verstappen. Wow, the surprise move. What a move by Oscar Piastri. That was fantastic. And it's Norris who's a little bit more detached from the front too. Welcome, Born to Booze. Leclerc is now all over the back of Lando Norris. Has he got a little bit nervy, Lando Norris, in these opening few laps? Now here comes Leclerc. Can he make a move on Norris? No, he can't. As we go to this newly improved section in the last few years, Piastri has dropped Norris by a little bit, probably about, 5-6 tenths. And now it is Leclerc. So whether or not Norris is managing early on, that is huge. But Norris doesn't have early pace right now in this race. Or he's certainly just maintaining his speeds and looking after his tyres. It's already through on to lap number 3. But Ferrari seemingly having good pace. I can't believe Piastri on the hard tyres has already got past Lando Norris. Very surprised. Raphael didn't. I know, Mini Master. I know. He might be here. As Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:29.1. We had Piastri do a 1:29.8. Norris did a 1:29.8 as well. So Max Verstappen 7 tenths quicker on lap number 3. As now down the straight again, coming to, and Russell has a long brake pedal. So that's already in this race. Lap number 3, brake issues for George Russell, who is currently in 6th place, lost 2 positions off the start. Daryl, how are we? Come on chat, if you're watching, what did you make of lap number 1? What a lap that was. That was an incredible lap. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to try and reduce the timings down again a little bit more. Let's do on a 6 second. That should be better. Just going to do a quick refresh chat. Give me a second. Sync it all back up with about a 6 second delay. Hopefully that will match it better. And that should be now better. Lap 4 we are on. Lap 4 already. It is game on with the cars out front. So just try and sort that lap 4 picture out in the top. Don't think I'm missing anything so far at the moment. And let's sort the bottom one out as well. Okay, cool. Think we're better. So, what do we got then? Piastri already been dropped by 2 seconds. Daryl says, go Max. Max is looking comfortable, but Leclerc has DRS on Norris. Here comes Russell on Alonso. And Russell is back past Fernando. He doesn't fight that one at all. But Leclerc is only 4 tenths behind Norris. 3 tenths now. As Norris with Norris doesn't have DRS. Leclerc does. And here he comes. Will he make a move? He's got to make a move here. Goes to the outside. Norris defends. To take the inside line, Willie. Norris just holds on. Alonso training will happen next few laps. That could well be the case. Hamilton has made a good start. He's up 4 positions. Currently in 13th place. But Leclerc is all over the back of Lando Norris. All over the back of Lando. What is Lando doing? Surely, if you want to win the championship, you have got to be putting a bit more pace into this car. But maybe he knows. Norris on the radio. We're happy with this as long as you're comfortable. Plan target lap A. So I think it's probably what could be planned for themselves. But watch out for Leclerc. He's dropped it back a little bit now. About a second. So maybe Norris just putting his foot down a little bit. Icy here, welcome. How are we doing, Icy? Welcome to the stream. But Leclerc will have more DRS again. Norris still just outside of DRS of Piastri. Now, goes down the straight. Will he activate DRS? He doesn't. So he was just outside of a second. I think Lando just closing up a little bit more on Piastri on this lap so far. He's done a purple first sector, did Lando Norris. So that would explain why he's managed to close the gap a little bit more. And we got, what was we doing in the middle sectors? Norris lost a couple of tenths in the middle. Back down to 6 tenths now. Norris is letting Oscar fight Max so they can bring the gap down. Could be. As they just go back onto the race start, Verstappen and Norris got really good starts. Piastri did as well, to be fair. Alonso absolutely held it out the inside and took a brilliant move past Russell. I would like to see Russell's on board because it didn't look like he got a great start, George Russell. It didn't look like he got a great race start at all. Obviously, into the hairpin, Leclerc took the inside line. Norris and Piastri accelerated away. We go on board with Max Verstappen with his rear wing now. Yeah, he cut across beautifully, Max. Really good start. Both McLarens and the Ferrari, I tell you what, Ferrari and Aston Martin, how they don't touch in that turn one, I will never know. But they, what you'd expect from probably, here's Russell's on board. Oh, he just gets bogged down, Russell. Bit of tyre spin in second gear as well. And that's what cost George Russell 2 positions at the time. So George did get hunted down early by Alonso and Leclerc, but Russell does now have Alonso back. So Norris down 1 position, Russell down 1 position, but it is now Piastri up 1. We're going to look at that move again for Piastri round the outside. To be fair, Norris doesn't fight it. Norris didn't fight that move, but on the hard tyres, it was a terrific move by Piastri. Elbows out for Piastri, nice and early. And it was a terrific move. Oh, fantastic. What a move. So, let's see how this boils down to, because this could go very strategy dependent. What are the gaps? Verstappen 2.3 seconds ahead of Piastri. We've got about a 1.5 second gap. And Red Bull are happy with Max Verstappen's pace. And they could go longer if they wish. That is the call by themselves in Red Bull. Got to keep updating the refresh sometimes. His gap is increasing by Norris. Yeah, Leclerc's still within 8 tenths though. Leclerc's still in 8 tenths of this.
And Lando, we're happy with this as long as you're comfortable. This will be plan A, target lap, plan A, target lap.
Norris on target lap.
This is good for now, Max. We may wish to be going longer, so just keep on top.
So a couple of track limits we have had. Lawson's already had a track time deleted. Hulkenberg and Gasly have had track times deleted as well. Interesting. So lap 7. What is going to happen in this race? What can be done? What we got then? So Leclerc's only 5 tenths behind. I mean, Leclerc must be pushing hard. We haven't seen that Ferrari strong pace for quite a while. But here, whether or not Norris has got to be managing the tyres. And Norris has been told that they've asked Oscar to pick up the pace. So they've asked Oscar to pick up the pace in P2. Maybe Piastri is looking after his tyres as well. So interesting to see what Piastri pace does. How much will Piastri want to pick up the pace? Obviously, he's not currently winning the championship anyway. So let's see what happens as Leclerc does a purple first sector. Now Leclerc, 8 tenths behind as Hulkenberg is into the pits. Leclerc with DRS closing on Norris. And he's got about 6 tenths. And he's right behind him. Could we see a move next time for Leclerc, who is literally about 3 or 4 tenths behind at the moment? DRS will activate again. And this is a good opportunity for Leclerc. The same time as Piastri's overtake into turn 9. Can he get the overtake? Leclerc closes up right to the backside of Norris, but cannot find the overtake. So, again, still pushing hard is themselves. They are still absolutely pushing hard.
Let's see if we can start putting Verstappen under pressure.
Wow, this could be great. They're probably doing soft on the last stint. It could be. I think Piastri's got nothing to lose here. Track map needs to be refreshed slightly. Let me just sync these back up, chat. And there we go. So yeah, it's still Leclerc. Now, obviously, if they're asking Piastri to pick up the pace, it's a very interesting one because ultimately, Norris is 1.6 seconds behind as Hamilton. Hamilton is now in the box, so he gets rid of the soft tyres, puts on the hard tyres now, and back out he goes. So Hamilton in early, Albon is in as well. He gives up the soft tyres for hards as well, both with good pit stops. I'd love to see the pit time that they did. Don't think it's going to tell me. Williams with a 2.1. Williams with a 2.1 second pit time for that one. And now Piastri, Verstappen has started graining on the front right tyre. So they're keeping an eye on everything at the moment. But Leclerc still within DRS as well. So he's still holding in there, is Leclerc. But he's still about 8/10. And Piastri is starting to close on Verstappen. 2 seconds is the gap right now. But this is going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. What we're coming into, lap number 10, we are about to start. So lap 10 it shall be. And Behrman in 12th. So let's have a look. As I just said, I think the time was about 3-second delay on everything. So let's have a look at the field then. We have got Verstappen leading, Piastri, Norris. So the championship at the moment goes to Norris with that P3. But he's only 2 points away. He's only a P4 away from that completely changing. Leclerc about a second behind currently. Bortoletto still doing really well in 7th. We've had Hamilton and Albon with early pit stops. Also Hulkenberg. So they are at the back off the pace currently. As we go into turn number 7. And it's still maxed. About 2 seconds the gap currently. Let's make sure we keep syncing this up all the time. Make sure we're accurate as can be. So, chat, if you're watching, what do you think so far? With what you've seen currently, what do you think of the race? And who do you think is going to potentially take this? Is Lando going to come through absolutely fine and cruise to this win? What is going to change? Something has got to change at the moment. So Behrman's had Behrman incident, turn 8, driving erratically, waiting for a Latifi moment. Yes. So they do reckon Verstappen is graining. That's the one thing that they do believe on the McLaren pit wall, that Max Verstappen is graining out front. I'd be surprised if it's that bad because he's keeping ahead. Piastri, you would argue at the moment, is in a really, really good position because he's on the hard tyres. McLaren on the second stint, you think they will full attack. Well, you got to remember, it is Piastri on hards. So everyone else, I reckon, is going to go to hard tyres who are starting on the mediums. And then you're going to have to look at Piastri on hard. So there is a good chance that Piastri could get himself up to first place in this race. And he is going to get first place because if he's going to stay out longer than everybody else. So we'll see what is going to be the case. I'm sure there's some nervous people on the pit wall. I'm sure there's some very nervous people. Looking at some violations, so track limits, Yuki Tsunoda has had 2 violations so far. Lawson has had 2 violations for track limits as well. So let's keep on seeing what is going to happen in this race. I'm sure it's going to boil down to pit stops. Istvan Kosis, welcome. Welcome into the stream. We are definitely on definitely not on lap 2. It is lap 12 currently. And Verstappen still leads 2.2. So that graining isn't as bad as I think McLaren are taking out. Now, Leclerc has dropped away from the DRS of Norris. That is now 1.3 seconds. So looking good now. Norris has kind of held off that battle. And maybe Leclerc used a lot of his tyres just to try and make something happen in this race. Just maybe that's why he was pushing so well. Now, the fastest lap of the race currently, Hulkenberg on a new set of hards. So Hulkenberg on a new set of hards, setting the pace at the moment. So that's going to be interesting. Now, Norris is 2.2 behind Piastri, but remember, he only needs to come third. That's all he needs to do. So if he can get third and stay third, then happy days for him. But where does the point come where Verstappen drops off, drops Piastri to Norris, and Norris drops to Leclerc? Lucky guy made a mistake in Mexico. Good job, Istvan. I mean, 50th place might as well be as good as P1. That's good, Istvan. Very good indeed. So lap times, let's have a look as they cross the line. We have got a 29.5 for Verstappen. We have got a 29.4 for Piastri. And a 29.6 for Norris. 4 tenths lower then for Leclerc. So Piastri is still doing really good pace. 69 missed calls from Nicholas Latifi. Definitely. I think something's going to happen in this race. There's definitely got to be something that happens in this race. For sure. Got to be. They are not going to let this race run, no safety cars, nothing. But the problem is, there is a few battles on the track down the order. Norris complaining about graining, saying that the graining is picking up currently. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's a big DRS train down the straight. There's pretty much about 10 cars involved down the straight at the moment. And it all starts from Isaac Hajar. So P8 all the way down to pretty much 15th. They're all within nearly DRS. Piastri may be closing in. So again, at the minute, 1.6 seconds now. So Piastri, I think we might have just found the crossover where the hard tyres is better than the mediums. Now, we are coming into the pit window, lap 20 to lap 26. And Leclerc continues to drop. So Leclerc is the big factor in this race at the moment. Because at the moment, he's the only one that can really stop anybody else winning the title. Because if Leclerc can't get to P3, Lando is going to cruise it. So keep an eye on what happens with that one. Let's make sure we keep syncing up all the time with our delay. So, 4 tenths quicker for Piastri. 4 tenths quicker for Piastri. That lap just gone. So good potential here. I think Piastri's looking strong. Definitely looking strong. Norris is now 3.2 behind Piastri. Norris can't keep up. 5 tenths slower. It's Piastri on the charge as Liam Lawson gets a 5-second penalty. So 5-second penalty for Liam Lawson, driving erratically in this race. So, keep at it. But I think Norris has got to be playing the tactical here. I think he's got to be playing the tactical. I can't see any other reason why he wouldn't be playing tactical. He's got no need to push the tyres. He doesn't need to win. He just doesn't need to win in this race. So why would you even push? If you can come home comfortably P3, that's all it takes. As now Russell boxes. So George Russell is in the pits. So he pits from P5 and now goes from mediums. What's he putting on? He's putting hard tyres and he comes back out just ahead of the Racing Bull coming into the pit lane as well. So this is the window This is the window where the medium tyres are starting to come in, and it's earlier than the lap 20 to lap 26 that they predicted, because that is some early stops. Now, Piastri sets the first personal best sector, the fastest first sector. I think Piastri is on a charge, Chris. I generally think he is. He's done a 17.8 for 10th quicker than Verstappen, a 10th quicker than Norris. But remember, he's on the hard tyres. He's on the hard tyres, so that's going to be interesting. What has he got? It's about, yeah, he can see Verstappen. He's not far away from a DRS usage. Couple more laps maybe. But Piastri is flying 3.3 to Norris. But Leclerc can't keep up with Norris. 2 seconds. But at the moment, if Norris was to pit, he'd feed into a load of traffic. That is the problem. The gap out front, 1.6. I think this championship, and it was a dummy call. So the McLaren team come out to the pits for hard tyres. Dummy call from McLaren. Now, chat, what happens if Norris pits early and then a safety car gets issued? Wow. Everything could happen. Bortoletto boxes. And he comes in. So they reckon that potentially, yeah, they might only get to lap 39, lap 45. That's going to be a 2-stop if you stop in early. So there's a lot of calls. We did say that it could be a 1-stop or a 2. And I think a lot of these are now starting to go to a 2-stop. As Bortoletto comes back out in what is going to be 15th place. So the gap's spreading out after these. Now, Russell does the fastest first sector. And now Norris being told to keep pushing the gap to Leclerc.
And keep building this gap on Leclerc. It gives us choices.
So, they are very calm for Norris. Norris is going for the 1-stop. I think he's got no choice at the moment, because if he pits now, he's going to be into traffic. And whilst Leclerc isn't closing, there's no need. But the problem is, if Leclerc pits, it might force Norris's hand, because a 2-stop could be quicker. And here comes Norris. Norris boxes. That is a 2-stop for Norris, surely. As Norris comes in, Leclerc comes in, Alonso comes in. So big pit stops. Norris back out ahead of Alonso. Leclerc gets a decent lap stop as well. It was a 2.1 for Norris, 2.5 for the Ferrari. And both go to hard tyres. But they're going to be in so much traffic. They're going to be behind a big DRS train, which they are going to come back out of. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. George Russell, where is he? Where can he find 4 seconds? Where's Russell in this? Russell is about he's about half a tenth behind Leclerc. And it's Antonelli ahead of Russell. Oh, Russell nearly undercut Leclerc. And now there's about 6 cars, all with DRS down the straight, with Lando Norris at the back of it. So you've got Lawson, Stroll, Sainz, Antonelli, and then Norris. So Norris straight into traffic on lap number 17. And that is massive, because that traffic is all in a DRS train. Why have they done that, McLaren?
Oscar, do you think we can do plan A? Thoughts on plan A?
I think it's doable for now.
This is massive. Norris in traffic and Russell all over the back of Leclerc. I can't believe McLaren have pitted into absolute bad traffic with Norris. That is, I can't believe they didn't keep him out. But I guess Russell probably would have undercut him. It's crazy. Norris is... I don't know how he gets past these, but why would Antonelli... Surely Antonelli is going to fight this hard to help George Russell catch up. This is massive for the race. Absolutely massive. Now, into the hairpin we go. Will Norris... Norris can't risk anything, as he does risk it. And he dive bombs Antonelli. And he gets past Antonelli. But Antonelli with slipstream and DRS. Will Antonelli come back at Norris? They all have DRS down this straight. Here comes Antonelli, but he can't get past. So Norris has made up that one position back. But yes, Yuki Tsunoda in fourth, Sadiq. A massive shout. But here comes Norris with a great exit against Sainz. And Sainz doesn't defend it. So Norris, within a space of a couple of corners, from turns number 8 up to 9, Norris gets 2 cars out the way, Antonelli and Sainz. But surely, we are in to a 2-stop race for Norris.
First not moving under braking, I don't know what it is. Literally, as I brake, we move.
But yes, now Stroll. Norris has got to get past Stroll. Here we go. Here's Lance Stroll to put this into the mix. As Sainz boxes then out of that battle. So, it is, in this battle, Lawson, Stroll, Norris. I'd be nervous if I was coming up to the back of Mr. Stroll. That is for sure. Let's keep everything refreshed. So, let's see what happens. Into the hairpin again. This is crucial because Norris at the moment is about 27 seconds behind the leader. He's 28.3 as Norris already goes past Lance Stroll. Down the outside will take the inside line. He's going to take both. What a move. Lando Norris takes both the Racing Bull and Lance Stroll. It is Lawson and Stroll on the same straight, diving into turn number 6, I think it is. Turn number 7 and 8. What a move by Lando. But the Racing Bull comes back. Round the outside goes the Racing Bull. Norris cuts him off. Lawson fighting this one hard. But can Lawson get back? I think for the Red Bull team, that was massive for Lawson. What a move by Norris, first of all, to take both Lawson and Stroll down the straight into turn 6 and 7. And now, with Lawson fighting back, it is game over for that battle. Norris flying with some tremendous overtakes. Remember, he has got the whole championship at stake here, and he has just performed 2 beautiful, beautiful moves. Really good moves from them. Now, Leclerc is currently hunting down what looks to be a Mercedes of Antonelli. And I think he's already passed. He is. So Leclerc up to 7th. Now he's trying to close the gap ahead. And what do we got? Leclerc now on Stroll. So Leclerc now trying to get Stroll. Tsunoda is up to 3rd indeed. Here comes Leclerc. DRS down the straight. Going into turn 6 and 7. Leclerc, job done, but Leclerc goes to the Racing Bull. What a move! That is Leclerc and Norris both taking 2 cars on the straight. Leclerc follows Norris through the next lap. What a move. We are being treated to some brilliant racing as Lawson comes back at the Ferrari, but cannot find a way past as they go through turn 9. It is now Leclerc 1.7 seconds behind. Wow. What? I tell you what, chat, if you're watching this at home, both Norris and Leclerc dive bombing the cars ahead. It was an absolutely fantastic move by both of the drivers. And with everything at stake, they got their elbows out. Now, Norris 2.9 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. This is where it gets interesting. Because now, Yuki Tsunoda will come into play. This is what everybody has been waiting to see. Now, the gap from Max Verstappen to Yuki is about 25.7. So they have dropped Norris by another about 5-6 seconds when all these pit stops happen. Now, Piastri is 1.8 behind. And Norris now 2.5. Tsunoda will be pitting by lap 30. Well, they need Yuki Tsunoda to step up here. That's what they need. They've got to get Yuki Tsunoda stepping up. And now they reckon 1 lap for Yuki to be DRS vulnerable, but they want Yuki to do what he can.
Okay, we expect Norris to be near DRS within 1 lap. All you can when he catches.
Oh, this is going to get interesting.
First not moving under braking, I don't know what it is.
As Russell.
The anti-brake move.
Russell with the inside line, and he gets up to 6th. Great move by Russell going through turn 11 and 12. Russell is now through. Now, it feels like in this race that the rest of the field want to absolutely help the positions here. It feels like the rest of the race are pushing so hard that they want to try and influence the championship battle. Oh, this is just going to be so interesting at this point. 1.5 seconds now is the gap that is got to close down. He is coming quick, is Lando Norris. And Yuki says, leave me alone, I know what to do. Now, I don't think for a second anybody thinks Yuki is going to take him out here, do we? Let's be honest. But he's got to hold him up in some way, surely, when he can't overtake. He's got to do something. As now, they are both on hard tyres, though. Both on hards. Gap out front, 2.4. As they come through. And it's all about Norris and Tsunoda. Yeah, exactly, Rafe. But that's what they've got to do. They've got to bring Norris into play with Leclerc. They need Leclerc to get third place off Norris. That's what they've got to get. They've got to find that. They need to find the room. Now, Norris is flying, and here we go. So Norris is within a second as the track map tries to slowly recover here for me. Come on, track map. Anytime today. Thank you. Now, here we go. So go through turn 1. Leclerc is catching. Leclerc is only 1.5 seconds off now. So Leclerc is trying to find the time here. But surely, Yuki Tsunoda cannot live with this. Because here comes Norris, 0.4 of a second. And now, surely, he's got no answer down the straight. Here comes Norris, Yuki Tsunoda weaving from left to right. Now, which way does Norris go? Norris goes off the track. He goes off the track to make the move. Yuki Tsunoda forces him all the way out the outside. But couldn't live with him. Lando Norris, surely he had all 4 wheels off the track down the straight to overtake him then. But Norris is absolutely battling this hard. Wow, what a move. Norris has had some stunning overtakes in this race, and that is another one right there. And now, with that in mind, in comes Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen boxes medium tyres. I think that was always going to be the play. As soon as Yuki Tsunoda got overtook, it was a case that Max Verstappen had to pit in this race. Now, where does he come out? Norris coming around the final corner. And he's going to be ahead comfortably, Max Verstappen, I think. But now Norris will have his true pace on the hard tyres. Verstappen joins the circuit back in P2. Piastri, clear air. Let's see how this tyre recovers, he says. So that is the board to Piastri. Let's see. Well, I mean, surely Piastri's got to stay out here for as long as possible. But let's have a look at this onboard. Norris, Yuki Tsunoda was weaving all the time. Tsunoda went to the left. Norris was all 4 wheels off the track, I think. It looked like Norris was all 4 wheels off the track here, down the straight. I don't know what that does to track limits. He was all 4 wheels off the track. Wow, does that change anything, chat? Lando Norris overtaking Yuki Tsunoda down the straight, left the circuit, and it is underneath. It has been noted. It has been noted. Turn 5 incident involving Norris and Tsunoda has been noted. Wow, this could be a massive change. Because Leclerc is only 2.3 seconds behind Norris. This is huge. If they call a 5-second penalty, this is massive. Absolutely massive. Can we do the driver standings? Does this work on this screen? Let's have a look. I'm just going to change the screen, chat. In current positions, Let's see if this does work. Norris could get a 5-second penalty here. It has been noted. He did leave the track. That is going to be so interesting. Because Norris has to get a podium. Has to. Oh, come on. This is getting exciting. Red Bull are cheats. John, welcome. This is so interesting because Norris is third, but he did leave the track. This is a massive call. A massive call for the stewards. It's only been noted at the moment. But if that turns to an investigation, I think Lando could be in a bit of a problem here. As we go on board with Leclerc, and it was a move past Yuki. So Yuki didn't pit previously. It was the Verstappen car. Now, interesting play. What do the stewards do with that Norris overtake? I mean, he left... I mean, chat, if you're watching, let me know what you think of it. But he did leave the track. And you can argue he did gain an advantage.
Okay, you got some clear air. Let's see how this tyre recovers.
But they have noted Tsunoda and that incident for forcing a driver off the track. So which way do they go? Do they go that Yuki Tsunoda pushed out Norris, or do they go for Norris completely just went off the track? This is a massive call because Leclerc just set the fastest lap, leaving the track and gaining an advantage under investigation. Under investigation, Lando Norris for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Wow! This is huge. This is absolutely massive. 2.2 seconds is currently the gap from Norris to Leclerc. And I'm sure they will be telling the Ferrari to get within 5 seconds. This is massive. What do they do? Because I think Norris completely chose to win off the track. He could have kept a tyre on the track. He could have. He gave himself extra room. What does it do for the standings at the minute? I can't load this page, annoyingly. I'd love to see the current standings. Piastri leads at the moment. Not the championship, but leads the race. We'll see if it does bring up the current standings. But 17 seconds for Verstappen to Piastri. 1.8 is now Leclerc. So Leclerc is picking up the pace and he is starting to push. But what do the stewards do? What do they do? I just want to know. I think it's hard. Watching it again, and I mean, I like Norris. I've got nothing against Lando. But when you actually have a look, he did just completely give himself extra room and completely go off the track. Yes, Yuki weaved and pushed him out. But I don't think he could have still kept a tyre on the circuit. He just chose not to. They're saying Norris could have slowed down. Well, it's hard at 200 mile per hour. Well, I think we can all imagine that, John. It's ridiculous that he'd have been able to just slow down. Once your brain has said, right, I'm going for it, you're pretty much going for it. But I just feel, personally, that Yuki Tsunoda, yes, he did weave, but there's nothing in the rules to say you weave in terms of as long as you don't move under braking. But Leclerc, they are happy with the pace of Leclerc. They call it mega pace from Charles Leclerc here. And he, I think, is sensing that he has a chance to disrupt the party because he is in P4. And remember, I think Leclerc will definitely want a P3. He'll want a podium. He won't want to come home fourth. Not allowed to do two movements. That's the thing, John. It's what do they do? Do they push Yuki on the two movements or do they push Norris? I think this is a massive call. A absolute massive call. I'm sure they said to the Red Bull of Tsunoda, push him wide. As now we have a look at Fernando Alonso making a move on Antonelli down the straight. I don't think I've ever seen so much overtaking at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix before. It just seems like everybody doesn't care. And now Alonso nearly leaves the track to gain an advantage. He does get past Antonelli, but he went wide this time. Oh, I can't keep up. What do we got? 2 seconds, Leclerc to Norris. But what do the stewards do? I think they're going to go racing incident. Hamilton started 16th. Yes, so Hamilton's had really good pace so far. He's up to 8th place at the moment. Alonso has probably been the disappointing one, but we know he out-qualified that car by all means, because look at Stroll. I mean, it's not really a comparison with Stroll, but you know what I mean. Oh, what's going on here? This is a big call. The stewards, this could decide the championship. It really could. Whatever they decide for Lando Norris and Yuki. Because I don't know how much pace has got, but Norris has started to try and pick the pace up. So it could be that they sense there could be a 5-second penalty coming. They might sense it. And Norris is put in the purple sectors. He is pushing hard. But Piastri leads by 15.3. So, yeah, soft tyres. He had a good stint in Hamilton. Got through nicely. Few good overtakes. He was up to a few... He got up to like 12th, I think, in the first couple of laps. So, Piastri is going to go for the offset of tyres at the end. We're approaching lap 30 coming up. And I think definitely they're going to be pushing Piastri for mediums at the end. I can't see them going softs. They might, but they didn't last that long. Only like 10 laps. So I can't see that being the case. As George Russell has only just got up to the back of Yuki Tsunoda. So Russell's pace has been disappointing. He's dropped off in this race massively. I did think he'd have a better performance considering the qualifying. But he is now past Yuki Tsunoda into turn 9. George Russell moves up to P5. Still a good race from George, but needs more from that Mercedes. We are on lap 30. 5-second time penalty. Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda receives a 5-second time penalty for moving under braking. So Lando Norris, I think, might get away with that now. I can't see him getting a penalty for that. I can't bring my track back map at the minute for some reason. It is currently dying on me. So, yeah, Yuki Tsunoda with a 5-second time penalty. What did Norris? Did Norris just get cleared of the penalty? I just missed that one. So, Norris Tsunoda leaving no further action. So, no further action with Lando Norris leaving the track and gaining an advantage. I imagine it's because of that weaving and double move by Yuki Tsunoda. So we're back to level playing field again. No 5-second penalty has been applied. Now, annoyingly, I'm losing all of my screens here because for some reason it's going on a go slow. But Piastri now 13.7. So they're coming, but they're going to have... Now, at the moment, Piastri is going to come out in 3rd. Or maybe even 4th. Because the gap to... What's the gap at the minute? 20.7. But does Leclerc and Norris have to pit again? That's the big one. And I definitely can't get... I think this website... Oh, no, we're back a little bit. Here we go. Let's try and push this back. Yeah, interesting. Interesting what they do. Stroll up to 7th. What the blooming hell are we witnessing here? Black and white flag for Antonelli. Track limits. Next time he'll get a 5-second penalty. Leclerc is starting to drop away from Norris. Hamilton's now got a black flag, a black and white flag for track limits. So he's got to be careful. Got to be very careful. But what is going to come? At the minute, with the current points, Norris wins the championship by literally 6 points. And Piastri will take 2nd. So at the moment, it's best possible case for Norris. See a safety car here, would not be shocked if Tsunoda triggers it. Oh, it's in the balance. It is literally going to be in the balance. We've got Ocon now overtaking Hulkenberg, going for a move. They are side by side. Come on, give us a battle of something. Give us... I mean, we've had safety cars before. We have had late safety cars in the past. But we'll see if it comes. Yuki being a 5-second penalty. He is not happy. Yuki Tsunoda. Not happy at all. And our driver lineup's gone again. 12 seconds. Piastri is either waiting for a safety car or going to go to softs in this race and see if he can make up the time. Ultimately, it looks like that's all he can do. As now, is it Hamilton is into the pits?
We've been given a 5-second penalty for moving twice on a defence of Norris.
A penalty ball.
We've got a penalty for moving twice in defence to Norris. Head down.
Not happy, Yuki Tsunoda. So, I mean, Verstappen's pace is really strong. Really strong on lap 32. He's absolutely cutting the gap all the time to Piastri. All the time cutting the gap. It's now 11.6. So he's just got to keep on with what he's got. And it is falling. What does Piastri do? He's been on them hard tyres for 32 laps. So Verstappen can definitely get to the end. It's going to be close for Norris and Leclerc. Doubt if it cuts the corner, yeah. Wow. This is what happened. What is going to happen? Will there be anything, or will this just cruise out to victory? Verstappen does a 27.8. That is 1.2 seconds quicker than Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen is starting to put the hammer down. Max is starting to release the pace. Yuki now pits and will serve a 5-second time penalty for that double move. And he now boxes, and now the team get to work. So, medium tyres for Yuki Tsunoda. And he just comes out ahead of Antonelli. So, Yuki's putting in a decent little race at the moment, as Antonelli will come out as well. So, let's see how they get on. I mean, I don't know what Piastri's doing. 10.4. At the moment, Piastri is going to come out about 2 seconds behind Leclerc. That is where Piastri will come out. So he'll come out down in 4th place. Or even, 4th place he will. But will he have the offset to have a pace advantage that he come back to? That is the key. I mean, let's have a look at the lap times currently. And I think you're going to find, and again, 29.0 versus a 27.9. He's lapping consistent, Piastri, but he's consistently slower than Max. Now, Norris is doing a 28.0. Norris is doing a second a lap quicker than Piastri. Surely, they are waiting for a safety car. Surely, that's all they are waiting for here. We can see the 3 championship battlers in the same straight. I can see 4 with Leclerc joining the party, but he's still 4.2 seconds. I think that Leclerc, he just can't compete with it. The only difference is if Norris has to pit again, whether or not they can push Leclerc to the end. That would be the only difference. But I think they're getting ready. I think they're getting ready for Piastri to box. Coming up, will Piastri box? Not this time. They were looking at the blankets, getting potentially ready. So we might see Piastri come in the pit soon. But they reckon 8.7 seconds is now the gap. He's got to be pitting here. Got to be pitting. Surely.
Basically, we need our fastest stint to the end, Max. We don't want to give away too much race time to Piastri, who will undoubtedly be relatively quick on his medium.
So yeah, Verstappen and crew thinking that it is probably going to be Piastri coming back at them. Well, this is just petering out at the moment. We've got some Norris radio as well. We'll see what that says in a minute when we get it up on our screen. Comes out behind Leclerc if he pits. He does, John. So that's going to be the big thing for you, for Piastri, is how much of the offset. Now, these hard tyres that Norris and Leclerc have got on are 18 laps old. So he's going to go to some fresh mediums. I'm just looking at Hamilton's times. Hamilton on a brand new set of mediums in traffic is doing a 28.7. So that is in traffic as well.
And Lando doing a great job compared to Leclerc. He might pit soon and go on a 2, in which case we cover him the next lap.
So they do reckon. So Norris is going to... So Norris's race here, confirmed, is to cover off Leclerc. Leclerc is the only driver in this race at the moment, obviously dependent on any crashes, that can really impact this race. So I think McLaren are being sensible that they will literally cover off Leclerc. And that is all they need to do. But Russell is only 15 seconds behind Leclerc, 21 seconds behind Norris. That would be very close coming out of the pits. I want to see Hamilton's pace because Hamilton is currently 15th. He's not necessarily doing great lap times on them new mediums. He's got a 1.5 second gap, so he's running some clean air. But it's not a lot. It's not a lot. On lap 36, we'll have a look at Hamilton now making a move down into the hairpin into turn number 5. Good acceleration against Colapinto on 20 lap old hards. And that is a relatively easy move for Lewis Hamilton, who is up to 15th. Now, Norris has just done a purple first sector. Norris picking up the pace. But Piastri is still 1.2 seconds a lap slower. That gap is now 6.6. They've got to pit, surely, Piastri. Or Albon speeding in the pit lane. That has been noted for Alex Albon speeding in the pit lane. He is currently down in 20th. Don't think he's going to worry too much about that. They're asking Piastri how the tyre is, who's reporting that the rear is getting a little bit worse for themselves. So this is going to boil down to, they do reckon in about 2 laps time, the pit window will open for Oscar Piastri. Lap 39 to 45. I imagine if you go to 45, you're going to be putting the softs on. If you go to lap 39, you're going to be putting the mediums on. We have got, what's Hamilton now done? Hamilton, in a bit of clean air, has done a 28.5. It's still not as quick as Norris on 20 lap old hards, doing a 27.8. Now, Hamilton is way off the pace, but Norris and Verstappen matched each other that lap. Piastri, 1.2 seconds slower. So they got to do, I think they've got to bring him in now. You got to give him enough time advantage to catch up.
How's this tyre now?
Yeah, rear's starting to get a bit worse now.
Okay.
Surely, got to be doing the pin. Will he pit this time round? Piastri stays out. So Piastri's still out there and he's lapping still pretty slow. 29.1 this time for Oscar Piastri, but Verstappen is in the background with a 27.7, fastest lap of the race. 27.7 Verstappen. He is flying. Now, Norris does a 27.8. They're both taking 1.3, 1.4 seconds a lap out of Piastri. But surely Piastri is not going to be getting 1 to 2 seconds a lap quicker. I mean, that's going to be so tough. He's got to do a second a lap quicker than everybody else. I can't see Piastri coming back into this. But if Leclerc pulls the trigger to try and get the undercut on Norris, but I mean, it's 6 seconds, so I doubt it. Leclerc pitting would trigger Norris to pit, which would then keep Piastri in clean air. So this is, I just can't see. I can't see it personally. Now, some of the older hard tyre runners, I think, well, Soft's got about 12 lots. Is Stroll still going? He is. Lap 38, same as Piastri. Stroll still on the hard. So it shows you that tyre's got life in it, but a fresh set are obviously going to be beneficial. Now that gap is under 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Does Piastri pit this lap? The answer, I don't think, is a no. I think it's a no. Yeah, Piastri carries on. So will Piastri go to softs? He's got nothing to lose. 18 laps on the softs with less fuel. Rubbered in track. I can't see it. I think they'll go mediums. I can't see it. Now, Haas are currently in 8th and 9th and 10th. So Haas picking up some points. And that is currently an ongoing battle. Ocon has just moved past Bortoletto. What is going to unfold? Yeah, Hamilton is now 3.4 behind. I mean, Hamilton could still get points here. He's done a 28.5. He's still 1.2 seconds off Verstappen's time. But, I mean, I just don't know what happens. Like, do they start holding each other up in this race? Do they go, at one point, let's push back? Because you'd imagine that Piastri probably won't overtake Verstappen if he's aware that he's going to close up with everyone together. There's something got to happen in this race, you'd expect. You've got to try something. And if that's holding up the pack, then surely that's what they potentially do. There's Leclerc. Well, it's Hamilton now, getting past Hadjar. He is 13th. That was the replay. And then we see a replay of Ocon getting past Bortoletto. Good move. Into 8th. Yeah, good move. Yeah, I think McLaren have simply absolutely split their strategy. But they've surely left Piastri. He's in a chance of the title, right? Something could happen. He is in. As Leclerc boxes, so this changes things now. Leclerc boxes. Now, surely we will see Norris pit. Surely. So that is going to drop Piastri into P2 and some clean air. But remember, Max Verstappen has been on this tyre for 15 laps. Norris and Leclerc, 22 laps. But with now, will Verstappen's tyres get to the end comfortably? Who knows? But now, 1.2 seconds, I think it's going to be a case that Verstappen will get past Piastri and then probably box. But 7-lap difference, Leclerc and Norris is now pushing. So Norris is pushing hard and he will be boxing this lap. So Norris is going to be covering off and trying to keep that P3. So I think that's fair. I think that's right to do because they need to protect at all costs. As Piastri now, Max Verstappen right behind him. Piastri carries on. Surely Piastri is going to soft tyres. But the problem is now, Verstappen will overtake Piastri. If there is a safety car, Verstappen's still got the lead anyway. So I can't see, I don't know why they've left Piastri out so long, as Norris now boxes from 3rd. So it's about 28 seconds to Leclerc, as Norris then comes back out. 2.4 seconds. McLaren boy's been working on them pit stops. But Russell, I think he's going to get ahead of Russell as well. Yeah, he's going to be no chance. Here comes Verstappen for the lead of the race. Verstappen, Piastri doesn't even fight it. I mean, McLaren had to box Piastri a lap earlier, at least. But he's got to be going to soft. There's no way that McLaren of Piastri is going to be a second of a lap quicker. I mean, what? 21 seconds is going to be the gap for a pit stop. He's going to be about 2 seconds behind when he pits, 23. He needs to be a second and a half a lap. I can't see it. Because obviously Piastri needs to win. So surely now, Piastri has to play team orders. Surely. And now, Piastri does box. Piastri boxes. What does he go for? Softs or mediums? Let's find out. Lap 42. It is medium tyres for Piastri. A fresh set of mediums for the McLaren driver. And he is now back out with a 2.2 second pit time as well. So now it's all about the pace. Is the pace of the McLaren going to be good on the mediums? I mean, Piastri is kind of fighting for nothing at the moment. Yes, it's a win. But at this rate, Norris is going to be taking the championship. But Piastri is ahead of Norris. Does Verstappen have to pit again? By the time he gets to the finish, 17 laps time, they'd have done 35 laps. We've just seen 41 from Piastri, but that was 1.2 seconds a lap he was taking. So, let's see what the lap times are. Norris is still going purples. Norris is pushing. Leclerc is stuck behind Russell at the moment. I want to try and keep an eye on Piastri's sector times. And they're not amazing sector times at the moment. Bit of warm-up, I imagine, as well. As Leclerc, into turn 6, gets the job done on George Russell. Been disappointed with the Mercedes pace, I must say. It's just not been there. And it's been left with Ferrari to battle. So, let's see what happens. We have got about 15, 16 laps to go.
I don't want to be giving up too much time. We want to see whether we can chase down Verstappen here.
Can he do it? I mean, that's a big order. That is a massive task. Hamilton's just in the purple middle sector. And now Piastri and Norris are both pushing. Norris on hards, Piastri on mediums. And I think it's Norris with the faster lap time at the moment. Sector time, 38.0 versus a 17.9. So now it's a 17.7 for Piastri and a 17.7 for Norris. They're both matching each other in the first sector. Is Piastri and Norris. But crucially, Verstappen did a 17.5. He was still quicker. Now let's have a look through the middle sectors to keep an eye on this. A 38.3 from Verstappen on the hard tyres. Let's see what the McLaren boys do. So a 38.3 for Verstappen. And it's going to be through this middle sector. What are we going to get from Piastri? A 38.0, 3 tenths quicker through the middle sector for Piastri. Norris even quicker by a tenth. So 3 and 4 tenths quicker than Verstappen through the middle. William Oliveira, yes, it's looking that way at the moment. I can't see Russell or Norris fighting. But Leclerc's gone mediums. Norris has gone hards. And Leclerc is taking time out of Norris. There is a different tyre strategy. Norris has gone hards. Leclerc has gone mediums to the end of this race. This could be massive still. And now Max Verstappen did a 17.4, best first sector. Piastri is 17.5, but it's in the middle sector where they are quick. What does Norris do? Norris is going purples at the moment in sector 1 mini sectors. We'll see what sort of sector time he puts in when he gets to it. But Leclerc is on the charge. It's a 17.4 for Norris, a 17.5 for Leclerc. So, interesting. Can Leclerc close down Norris? That would give Verstappen champion. But he's got a big task to do. Now, in the middle sector, we are coming up again. Verstappen's doing very consistent 38.3. Let's see what Piastri does. Last time they took 3 tenths. 37.8, 5 tenths middle sector for Piastri. Quicker than Verstappen. That middle sector, 6 tenths quicker for Norris. 7 tenths quicker for Leclerc. They are all coming back at Max Verstappen and quickly. 5-6 tenths in the middle sector alone. Let's find out what they do in the last sector. 32.1, I think it was. Wow, another 7 tenths of Piastri. They're flying. McLarens are going 1.1 seconds quicker a lap. 1.2. Even Leclerc is going 1.2 seconds quicker than Verstappen. They are flying. The race is on.
I don't want to be giving up too much time. We want to see whether we can chase.
What's the picture in front? How do I win this race?
So Verstappen is on your pit stop window. He's doing 27.9.
So this is getting qualified today. That's unlucky, William. Unlucky. Next week, hopefully, is yours. Now, chat, this is bubbling up because Verstappen has got massively older tyres, but the pack are chasing him down. The gap currently is 22 seconds. Verstappen still could pit and get out in the lead if he did decide to. But that gap is running out. So do they pit Verstappen and cover off? I can't see it happening. Cannot see it happening. Now Piastri and Norris and Leclerc faster in Sector 1. That's where they have been closing. Oh, this is going to be bubbled out. Piastri might fall back if it's impossible. It could be, John. But if it's impossible to win, I think he'll just keep out there as he is. But at the moment, 2 points is the gap. And it's 3 points if Norris drops to 4th. That's the difference in 3rd and 4th. Now, lap times. 27.7 for Verstappen. 27.3 for Piastri. A 26.9 for Norris. A 26.7 for Leclerc. Leclerc is flying. Tatum Claire 9, thank you for hitting subscribe. The Ferrari is flying on mediums, and that gap is now 4.3 seconds. Can Charles Leclerc cause an upset to this championship? He's on the opposite tyre to Norris, who's on the hards. And at the moment, if Verstappen was to pit, the gap would be about 1.2 seconds to Verstappen's advantage if he was to stop on this lap. But Verstappen is picking up the pace. It's only a 10th difference in Sector 1. In Sector 2, it's 3 tenths difference between Piastri and Verstappen. So about 4 tenths over the lap so far as Pierre Gasly gets a time penalty. Yes, Hamilton up to 8th and closing down 4 tenths a lap Ocon. So Hamilton could get up to 7th. Maybe even 6th here because Ocon's right behind Alonso. Right, let's see the lap times again. We've got to keep an eye on the lap times because this is what is crucial here. The lap times tell us everything. That gap now, Piastri 21.3. I can't see Piastri in 11 laps gaining nearly 2 seconds a lap. Not happening. He cannot get that win. Surely not. It's Verstappen's title if Leclerc gets Norris. If Leclerc hunts down Norris, it would be Verstappen's title. And that gap is now down to 4 seconds. As now, Norris goes through the first sector, does a PB, fastest lap of the first fastest sector, 17.2. It's 2 tenths quicker than Leclerc. So back up to 4.1 they go. But I think Max has got this race covered. I just can't see anything different at the moment. Piastri on this lap's gained about 3 tenths of a second. Sector 2, Hulkenberg has just done the fastest sector with a 37.5. And he is on lap 3 mediums. I think this could be going the way of Lando Norris as it stands. Max asking if Leclerc is catching him. But a couple of attempts, that's it. Max Verstappen did a 27.8 in that lap. Piastri comes across the line in a little bit because he's still coming 20 seconds back, remember. And we'll see what sort of lap time he does to finish off this lap. So a 27.8 versus Piastri about to come through with a 26.9. So 9 tenths quicker. It's not enough. It is not enough. Norris does a 26.8 for Norris, 26.9 for Leclerc. So it's kind of, I think Max is going to stay out there, Mini Master. I think Max is going to be staying out there till the end on currently 24 lap hards. He's about 9 tenths slower a lap, but it's not enough. It is not enough to catch.
Is Charles catching it or not?
Fairly equal pace, Max, between them. Last lap was a couple of tenths quicker, but nothing drastic.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Leclerc's got the pace in that Ferrari. It's all good, Mini Master, all good. He's reaching, I want to say the climax, but I just don't know what happens. I don't know if Max Verstappen suddenly starts to slow down and get in the picture. I mean, what's the point of coming first if you could try and bring the gaps down? But I don't think we're going to see anything like that. But remember last year, in 2021, a late safety car changed everything. You don't know. And at that time, I think it was Latifi putting it into the wall. So you just don't know. This race is not over until it's over, of course. The gap is now under 20 seconds. Leclerc with the gap at around 4.1. Leclerc's not closing on quick enough. They matched the lap times previously. Now, Piastri is just in a purple first sector, 2.5 tenths quicker than Verstappen. So Piastri starting to push again. Maybe they can't go full push all the time on them mediums. Let's see what he does through the middle, though. Stroll fighting Hajar. That's where we might get the safety car. Let's have a look through the middle sector. So Verstappen did a 38.1 through the middle sector. And for Piastri, it's a 38.0. Again, only a total of 3 tenths on this lap so far. He is not closing the gap. I think Verstappen's going to win it. The only problem is, for Norris, really, is if Leclerc catches. And that gap's between 3.9 and 4 seconds all the time. Yeah, it's... I think it's petering out. Piastri is catching, not strong enough. And here comes Stroll, past Hajar, down the straight. We've seen loads of overtaking down the straight today. Some fantastic moves as Stroll moves into 14th. Fighting for the smaller positions. And only 6 tenths of a second the gap in terms of lap time for Piastri and Verstappen. It is not enough. Verstappen's got this sewn up unless his tyres dramatically drop off. And we saw earlier on in the stints, Piastri did 40 laps on them hards. Don't expect that to be the case. If anything, Norris is catching Piastri. Yeah, I think, Alex, they've covered off nicely, haven't they, McLarens? They've covered off very nicely in this race. What do we got? A minute 29 a lap. They are about to lap Lawson in about 5 seconds for Verstappen. Yeah. Do they box Tsunoda again to bring him out in front of Norris? Do they play that game, Red Bull? Do they pit Tsunoda and drop him in front of Norris and hold him up for like a second and put him on new tyres so it gives Norris some turbulent air? That is a possibility. And Yuki Tsunoda, he's currently in 12th place. Could get points. Probably will want points on his last race. That is the only thing I can really see happening. And that's to help bring Leclerc closer if we wanted to change up this battle. But I don't think there's going to be much change. I think it's going to be a Norris championship. Yeah, Leclerc's drifting out now. Leclerc, he's not got the pace. That pace has dropped off. Piastri will finish P1. I can't see it, Mini Master. 8 laps to go. He's too far behind. He's 17.7. He needs 2 seconds a lap. And at the moment, he's only doing 9 tenths. Yeah, it is, Alex. It is that. It just shows that last race would be crucial. Crucial. That Antonelli move would it gave Verstappen the title right now, wouldn't it? If Antonelli didn't make a mistake. But I think we're running out of chances of a safety car as well. I am on everyone's side here. I don't really mind who wins. I think it's been a fantastic season for F1. But I would like a final few lap battle of a bit of fun. That was what I'd like to see. Hamilton 8th. So Hamilton could get to 7th. He's half a second behind Ocon. He could get to 6th, Hamilton. That would be a phenomenal drive. If he can get there. Hamilton trying to make a move on Ocon. And he would be then 1.2 seconds behind P6. So Hamilton's got a massive chance. What's the lap times last time round? Yeah, it's not. No, they're not making enough ground into Verstappen. And currently, Norris is going to win the championship by 2 points. With 7 laps to go. Trying to see if anything else is out there. Hamilton right behind Ocon. That's the closest battle on track. And that's a good drive. That's a really good drive. It's just qualifying which is letting Hamilton down, weirdly.
So Lando doing a fantastic job here, mate. Everything's looking good. There's 5 racing laps, including this one, we think. What are your thoughts on soft or staying out on this hard?
I mean, I think a softer would be better. It's just, you know, the safety car gets delayed or something that becomes the issue.
So McLaren preparing a safety car, just a bit like in 2021. You never know what's going to happen in the last few laps, but I can't see. The only thing I would do now, if I was Red Bull, is I'd pit Yuki Tsunoda, drop him in front of Norris, and hold him up for a few sectors. That's all I could think they could possibly do, really. But obviously it's very unsportsmanship-like if they were to do that. But I think he's going to do it. There's no answer. Piastri's got the gap to 16 seconds. Yeah. Hamilton, still 8th at the moment, though. John. He hasn't got Ocon yet. He's about 8 tenths behind Ocon on the mediums. He's on 20-lap old mediums versus lap 32s on the hards. But this is cruising to a Norris championship win. And it was to do with that 2 points that he gained over Antonelli. How crucial those 2 laps were in Qatar. Them 2 points, sorry. Absolutely crucial. But this is, I mean, Norris is absolutely lapping really quickly now. Norris has just done a 26.8. It's 6 tenths quicker than Piastri. Hamilton now within 6 tenths. Going down the straight. But I think even if a safety car came out now, with 4 laps to go, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. But he's got to lap some back markers. You never know. We've seen back markers take out leaders before. Think of Brazil. Doubt it will happen these days, but you never know. I mean, fair play. Lando has had a stellar season. Hamilton still 7 tenths. Hamilton's not really gaining at the moment on Ocon. And lapping a little bit slower, actually, last time on the sector. But we are starting. We're on lap 54. Goes to lap 55. The laps are against. Leclerc has dropped out to 7.8 seconds. Stroll's in a fight with Sainz and Bortoletto. You never know. Someone could crash there. But we've got 4 laps in it. Stroll makes a dive bomb. But it's good racing. It's good clean racing. Oh, good move by Stroll. Oh, what a move. Lance Stroll releasing his inner championship fight. Wow. What a move. Cut back from Lance Stroll. What a move. Norris 2.4. I think Norris is coming for P2 in this race. I think Piastri might let Norris pass, you know, as well for taking a P2. Norris is flying. Piastri is gaining 4 tenths a lap at the moment. And Norris is gaining a solid 1 second a lap. Norris has just asked if he has graining at the moment, Piastri. So I think Piastri is struggling out there. Norris is absolutely flying still, doing 27.1s versus a 27.7 for Piastri, 28.2 Leclerc, 28.1 for Max. So I think Piastri struggling at the moment.
Is he struggling with grading?
For Oscar, it's more the rears.
But that gap is coming down. I think Max is clear, still 14 seconds. It needs about 6 seconds a lap right now, or something dodgy for Piastri to get ahead. But Stroll's up to 10th. Stroll's going to get some points here. Stroll has just overtaken Bortoleto and Sainz in a lap. And he's going to get through, by the look of it, getting to the points, although that incident is under investigation. I missed what happened there. But Norris, he's still gaining time out of his teammate. I don't think he'll try and push a move. You don't want to risk anything now. And it shows you the pace, to be honest, because there's an Alpine that they're about to lap, and I think it's Colapinto. And Colapinto is on 13 lap-hold mediums. And he's staying ahead the whole time. Should have done 2 pit stops for Piastri. Yeah, I think... Well, Max has done the 1 stop, but Max has been left out clear. What do we got? 2 laps to go. This is it. This is it. If I could take my jacket off, I'd quickly switch it to a McLaren jacket, but it's absolutely stuck because I made the boo-boo of joining 2 different jackets together. I'll have to try and fix that at some point. But it is going to be, unless drama happens with 2 laps, it is going to be a championship going for the first time to Lando Norris with a P2 in the championship going to Verstappen and P3 to Piastri. But the gap at the minute, 3 seconds. So I don't think Norris is going to be hunting down Mr. Piastri. But I'll tell you what a strategy from Red Bull. Let's not take it away because obviously we're all about the McLarens now in terms of the rest of this race with Norris. But what a race from Red Bull. They absolutely did what they needed to do. Didn't panic when Piastri was left out clear. And it looks like they are going to be taking victory. So Max is going to look like he's going to win it. He's about to start the final lap shortly. And then it's 1 lap to get through for Lando Norris. Verstappen starts the final lap. Lap number 58. There is a racing bull that Max has just lapped. You never know. But it is not going to be a championship victory for Verstappen. It's going to be a race victory, but it's not going to be a championship victory. As he rounds the hairpin, goes down the straight now. So he's got through turn 5. Max Verstappen on his way. Pete Norris is going down towards P5, turn 5 now. And he's not really got any back markers ahead of him. But it's been a wonderful championship battle. Who would have thought that we would have got to the final race in Abu Dhabi and had 3 cars fighting for victory? But coming through turn 9, Verstappen comes. Norris is just going through turn 6 now. But Verstappen, with a dominant end to 2025, he picked up many race wins, even with a car that felt was underperforming. But Max Verstappen did all he could to try and take the championship. Max Verstappen rounds the final corner and he finishes the year with another victory. Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix Piastri will come home second place. He rounds the final corner now. Oscar did what he can as well. But here comes Lando Norris, who takes the championship. Lando Norris is the winner of the Abu Dhabi F1 Championship decider. Lando Norris wins the title, and it's his first of what could be many. Lando wins the championship. Verstappen took the race win. Piastri took second. What a race from them two to try and put something into it. Leclerc was in the race as well, trying to hunt Lando down, but nobody could stop Lando Norris this season. And in the end, that domination from McLaren in the first half of the season is what counts for McLaren. Red Bull fought back in the second half. They were absolutely brilliant with Max Verstappen. But McLaren built up a really good gap. And in the end, you could argue that Norris held on. And that 2 points that Norris gained last time out in Qatar on the very sort of last 2 laps is the difference between Norris winning the championship and Norris coming second. Verstappen and Lucky, you could argue, but Lando, I think we can all probably agree, does deserve the championship. What a year. We end 2025 with a brand new champion. Wow. Incredible. 2026 to look forward to as well. I'm sure that's going to be an absolute blast. We'll try and bring you some team radios as well. Curious Just Watch as well. Norris, the champion. We'll try and bring you the team radios on here as soon as they get uploaded. But Lando Norris is your 2025 F1 season champion. What a race. He did what he had to do. We haven't got them yet. But he has done it. I thought it was a good race, to be fair. It didn't have tons of action, but it definitely had enough in it to keep us guessing as to what was going to happen. Norris is in tears. The fireworks are on display.
That's it, mate. You are world champion. World champion. Well done, mate. I'm so proud.
Lando, this is Zach from McLaren. Is this the world champion hotline?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, wow. He's done it. Wow.
Thank you guys.
That is a brilliant team radio.
Oh my god. You made a kid's dream come true. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. You deserve it. I love you, Mum. I love you, Dad. Thanks for everything.
Fair play.
I'm not crying.
Even Red Bull are in tears. Even Red Bull are in tears as well. Now listen to that again. That was very interesting. Let's go. Let's do that one more time. Lando's doing donuts.
You are world champion. World champion. Well done, mate. I'm so proud.
Lando, this is Zach from McLaren. Is this the world champion hotline?
Yeah.
You did it!
Thank
You did
you.
it! Awesome!
Oh, thank you guys. Oh my god. You made a kid's dream come true. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. You deserve it. I love you, Mum. I love you, Dad. Thanks for everything. I'm not crying.
Max, you have given everything. You can be proud of that, mate. Hold your head up high.
We showed that one final time in this class. Congrats, guys, for the comeback and that second half of the season. We can be really, really proud of that. So don't be too disappointed. I'm definitely not disappointed. I'm really proud of everyone to never give up.
I think that's fair from Max. I think Max is won because he won the race. That is why they obviously go on the grid, let's say, as the race order. But I think we've got to admit, Max Verstappen had a unbelievable 2025 end of season. That last 6 months that Max Verstappen has put in was incredible. Lando Norris, really, was very consistent throughout the year as well, but obviously built up that nice lead. And obviously Piastri held the lead for it as well. Immense. But Red Bull came hunting back hard. It just wasn't enough. I think if you had one more race, of this season left, you would find that it probably might have gone Max's way. But we can all agree, it's been a fantastic 2025 season. Lando Norris currently celebrating with the team on the pit wall as Verstappen and Piastri both cool down after the race. I mean, he is going to be in absolute bits. He's already hugged his mum and dad who are there on trackside. But, wow. Max was the best driver. Max was phenomenal in the final half of the season. Absolutely. 2 seconds. Yeah, so that is it. That is done and dusted. We'll go and enjoy the celebrations and watch in, but we're going to leave it there, chat. We did complete a watch along this season. We did one in the earlier of the season, I think, but now we do finish a watch along. I don't know if I'm going to have time for streaming the game today, but we've done the watch along instead. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, but we will catch you. I guess we'll try and do this in the 2026 season if people are up for it as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed. But we'll leave you there. Enjoy the celebrations for the podium. And hopefully we'll catch you for, some more racing in the future as well. That is it done. Lando Norris, the champion of the world.